Hey Casey, my name's Chris Taylor. I'm the social media manager over at Marcus Theaters. How you doing, my friend?
How are you, Chris? I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. Nice to
Right?
see you.
Good to see you too, man. I appreciate you spending some time to sit down with me.
Absolutely. I guess so.
So I wanted to start off by congratulating you. You know, Our Friend is an incredible and very powerful film. I got to see it last night, and I mean, it was something that, and I said this to Jason earlier. I mean, I had to take a break for a hot minute, just to kind of like center myself, and like, I mean, it's powerful, and your character Matt, like, I was shocked with how much you had to balance in your role, right? Between being a dad and a career and a husband and a caretaker and a friend and everything. And I'd love to learn more about, like, how you approached your role as Matt and how you really embraced that balance.
A lot of the heavy lifting was done for me in the screenplay and by Gab. I try to, anytime I think about like trying to do something and balance too many things, I get in my head and it doesn't work for me. So I really just play the scene that's in front of me with the people that are in front of me, and I take my cues from the conductor, who's Gabby, and that's how I get through it.
Yeah, there was a line in the film, and I believe it was I think it was the birthday party, and you were talking with one of Nicole's friends who was kind of throwing a fit about some of the other friends who didn't show up, and you just kind of like, I mean, you could tell that the burden was on you, but you just turned around and you're like, Dane's really going to be the only friend who's left in the end, and it was like, you knew, I mean, you could see through everything and just call people for what they were. It was something like, when I saw that, it makes you really sit back and think like, wow, am I being a good enough friend to my friends, and am I being a Dane, to my circle? I'd love to get your thoughts on, in this COVID era, that the movies that have been playing in cinemas right now have been very like over the top or sci-fi or whatever. I mean, this was a real human film. I'd love to get your thoughts on that and how Our Friend really kind of positions itself within the theater space.
I don't know exactly what people want to see in theaters,
Yeah.
I can sort of surmise based on my own experience what people might want to see in general. I think that, the theater going experience is a great one. It makes the movies more potent, and but I think people also are at home, and a lot of people are feeling shaken and vulnerable or lonely and isolated, disconnected, lots of different things. And that if this is something that is not just a distraction, but is a kind of has a solidifying effect on them, if they feel sort of, made whole by it in some way, then I'm glad that like we're still able to tell stories and people are still looking for stories. So much of what we've looked to during this time, even before it was going in this direction, is social media. And, I wasn't on social media for forever, never was on it. And I just got on Instagram, just very recently, and made a little account just to like see, okay, what is out there,
Yeah.
And it was amazing. There's a lot of stuff that's really powerful and interesting. And these like, of course, there's also a lot of like terrible stuff and just toxic misinformation and all kinds of things you can find out there.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of people sharing things that are meaningful to them. And so I've learned that like it's a nice way to see sort of collectively where people are at and what kinds of things they're looking for and responding to. And I feel like our movie falls in line with, although it's a 90-minute version of what you might see in like 25 seconds on Instagram or something, it does seem like it's in the right lane.
I agree, and I'm really excited to show your film in our theaters on January 22nd. It's just right around the corner. So hopefully we have more of your films in our theaters.
Well, listen, I'm glad that you guys are hanging on. I'm glad
Thanks,
all theaters haven't gone away. It's really an important part of my childhood, my life, going to movies and seeing with people. And so hang in there.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. congratulations once again. And, nothing but blessings and good fortune to you going forward. I hope we get to see more of your films soon.
Thanks, Chris. Back at you, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. Cheers. Dude, the beard's rocking, man. You and Jason got decent beards going on. I'm loving it.
Yeah, look who's talking.
Wow. This is just a shadow.
That's get right there, my man. That is
Thank you, my friend.
A lot of gray and some holes in it. Yours is like
it just makes you more distinguished.